Now, Bazfella did a really good video the other day about how pistol crossbows aren't actually all that useful, and I agreed with a lot of the points in his video. But I thought, out of interest, what I tried today is just seeing how various bolts and arrows fire from the pistol crossbow at a range we wouldn't normally use them at into an archery boss, and just see if there is any sort of accuracy whatsoever. I think he's going to be completely right and they're all going to completely miss, but it'll just be an interesting test. As you can probably hear, unfortunately it's raining at the moment. It was absolutely fine until I decided to do the video, and then of course as soon as I go to do it, it starts raining. So that's a supposedly £80 draw weight pistol crossbow. It's probably much closer to £40 actual draw weight. It's a pretty good pistol crossbow in terms of its construction, a lot better than the little £50 model Tomcat Mark II one it is, but it's still obviously got a lot of the flaws pistol crossbows have. Now, as for the bolts, we've got 3 purpose-built pistol crossbow bolts. They're meant to be about 6.5 inches long. The top plastic one is slightly shorter than the others. I don't know if you can see that. Next we have the alloy one, and that's probably 6.5 inches. Then we have another plastic one. This type came with the £50 pistol crossbow I bought, but I've noticed they seem slightly heavier than the other plastic ones despite looking identical, except for the colour, and the head is slightly different on it, so I don't know if that has an effect. Next we have 2 bolts. We have a 13.5 inch fiberglass bolt, and we have a 14 inch aluminium bolt, and then we have the 28 inch arrow that's broken that I've been using in some of the other videos. So that's actually about 27 inches, and I imagine that like fall flat as soon as I try and fire it from the pistol crossbow. But we can test the accuracy of them at about 20 yards or so and see what happens. I'm not expecting much, but it might end up being quite interesting. Right, same range as before, but this time we'll be using pistol crossbow and see what happens. First we have the fluorescent yellow or green pistol bolt. Managed to get into the boss at least. Now we have the blue pistol bolt. I think that missed the boss. Now we have the alloy or aluminium pistol bolt. I think that dropped before it reached the boss. Next we have the fiberglass bolt. Didn't go far enough, only went about 10 yards at most. Next, the 14 inch crossbow bolt. Didn't reach the boss, went a bit further. Now we have the full size arrow, which I imagine isn't going to make it very far at all. Get them loaded in. Full size arrow now. You didn't make it very far. Right, let's see where they went. Right, the arrow made it a little over 10 yards, I'd say. Fiberglass one, the head's come off, so I need to try and find that, and that's obviously probably made it a bit about the same distance as the arrow, maybe a bit further, and bounced. Is the 14 inch crossbow bolt that had wedged itself in the ground pretty well, so although it fell, that worked quite well and was quite straight. Now first one, the yellow bolt, actually hits the boss with slightly decent penetration, about 4 inches. No idea where the alloy one went, as that looked like it went quite straight, but has obviously fallen to the ground before it reached the boss, I think. And the blue one, which looked like it went a bit to the left, has disappeared as well. So yeah, they've missed by a big enough margin that they're useless. So no idea where they've gone. So yeah, Baz was completely right. Outside of 10 yards, the pistol crossbow is pretty useless. What I find interesting is that those 14-inch aluminium bolts for the big crossbow actually seem at least more accurate than the pistol bolts, maybe because they're heavier. These things. For interest's sake, I'm going to try and fire the 14-inch aluminium bolt from about 10 yards and see if it works. There it goes. Yep, that went in. Spiraled a bit as it came out, but that managed to get in the boss at least. It penetrated a good 5 inches or so. And I say more than anything, these big crossbow bolts work better than the little ones.